Imagine a lighthouse illuminating the horizon during a storm, its soft, steady light guiding lost sailors. This scene reflects the essence of Stoic wisdom, a philosophy that offers guidance and serenity amid the turmoil of life. In times of uncertainty and challenges, the teachings of great Stoic thinkers such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius provide the strength and clarity needed to face adversity with courage and balance. Today, we invite you to embark on a transformative journey with us, exploring 8 valuable pieces of advice that can revolutionize your outlook on life. These timeless principles teach us to cultivate resilience, remain calm in the face of difficulties, and live in line with our true essence, seeking harmony and contentment in every moment. If you seek wisdom and want to find true inner peace, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Also, share your journey with us by leaving a comment with the phrase, "I will be wiser." Let's together explore the path of Stoic wisdom and discover the transformative power of this ancient philosophy. 1. Detach yourself from material goods. On the path of wisdom, one of the cornerstones is detachment from material goods. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that resonates to this day, invites us to reflect on the true nature of happiness and wisdom. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic thinkers, reminds us, happiness is a choice and a work of one's own. Stoic wisdom teaches us to find true wealth in virtue and inner serenity, rather than seeking satisfaction in material possessions. Getting too attached to material possessions is like trapping the wings of a bird, preventing it from flying freely to the horizons of inner fullness. When we let go of material goods, we free ourselves from the cycle of desire and constant dissatisfaction. We are no longer at the mercy of market fluctuations or external circumstances. Instead, we find a source of contentment that resides within ourselves, independent of external conditions. By adopting detachment, we are not renouncing the material world, but rather recognizing its transitory nature. Everything we have will one day fade away, but what remains is the essence of our being, our virtue, and our values. Our true wealth lies in the integrity of character, the accumulated wisdom, and the meaningful relationships we cultivate throughout our lives. Detachment from material goods is not an act of deprivation, but rather an act of liberation. We free ourselves from the shackles of rampant consumerism and make space for what really matters, the pursuit of moral excellence and the cultivation of authentic relationships. Being wise is recognizing that true happiness cannot be found in the accumulation of possessions, but rather in the serene acceptance of what we have and the constant search for virtue. As Epictetus reminds us, wisdom is available to all of us. We just need to make the choice and do the work necessary to cultivate it. The concept of detachment is essentially an invitation to introspection and self-knowledge. He challenges us to question social conventions that often associate success and happiness with the possession of material goods. In a world where we are constantly bombarded by messages of consumption and materialism, detachment is an act of resistance and affirmation of our inner autonomy. When we practice detachment, we begin to value experiences and moments more than objects and possessions. We realize that true and lasting joy comes from meaningful human connections, moments of peace and reflection, and personal and spiritual growth. Through detachment, we learn to be grateful for what we have, rather than endlessly wanting what we don't have. Letting go of material goods also allows us to live in a more sustainable and conscious way. By reducing our consumption, we contribute to preserving the environment and building a more fair and equitable world. This is an often overlooked aspect of letting go, its ability to transform us into agents of positive change in society. However, it is important to understand that detachment does not mean abdicating responsibilities and duties towards others. On the contrary, by detaching ourselves from material goods, we are able to dedicate ourselves more fully to the service of others and the common good. We recognize that our value is not in what we possess, but in who we are and what we do for others. The process of letting go can be challenging, especially in a society that values material things so much. However, the benefits are immense. By freeing ourselves from the chains of materialism, we find a new way of living, more authentic and meaningful. We cultivate inner peace and resilience, essential skills for navigating life's uncertainties and challenges. Stoicism offers us practical tools for cultivating detachment. Practices such as meditation on mortality, daily reflection on our actions and negative visualization, where we imagine the loss of our possessions, help us internalize the impermanence of everything material. These practices are not intended to make us fear loss, but rather to prepare us for it, strengthening our resilience and our ability to find happiness in the things that really matter. Thus, by detaching ourselves from material goods, we are not only following a philosophical principle, but also adopting a way of life that leads us to true freedom and plenitude. Through detachment, we find a path to inner peace, wisdom, and true happiness. The journey may be long and full of challenges, but the destination is a life of greater meaning and satisfaction. 2. Live according to nature. Stoic advice for living in accordance with nature encourages us to observe the patterns and principles present in the natural world and apply them to our daily lives. Following this advice more wisely involves learning from nature's examples and incorporating these teachings into our daily lives. A clear example from nature is the changing of the seasons. Just as nature goes through cycles of growth, flourishing, decline, and renewal, we also experience different phases in our lives. By accepting and adapting to these changes, rather than resisting them, we learn to cultivate patience, resilience, and acceptance of circumstances that are beyond our control. This understanding teaches us to navigate the phases of our lives with greater serenity and wisdom, recognizing that all stages, good or challenging, are part of a larger cycle. In addition to the seasons, the interconnectedness and interdependence of all living things is another crucial lesson that nature offers us. Each organism plays a vital role in the ecosystem, and its actions have direct or indirect impacts on other beings. In our lives, the actions and choices we make have consequences that can affect not only ourselves, but also those around us. By recognizing this interconnection, we can develop greater awareness of the impact of our choices, acting more responsibly and compassionately. Nature's resilience and adaptability in the face of adversity are also great examples to be followed. Plants find creative ways to grow in challenging conditions, trees bend under the force of the wind, and animals develop unique survival strategies. In our own lives, we can learn to face challenges with courage, flexibility, and determination, rather than being defeated by them. Adopting this mindset helps us see obstacles not as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities for personal growth and development. Living in accordance with nature teaches us to value simplicity and humility. In nature, each element exists in harmony with the whole, without excess or waste. This principle can be applied to our lives by adopting a simpler and more conscious lifestyle, focusing on what really matters and eliminating the superfluous. This can lead us to a greater sense of peace and contentment by recognizing that true happiness lies not in material possessions, but in living authentically and in alignment with our core values. Observing nature also teaches us about the importance of perseverance. Rivers find their way around rocks, animals migrate long distances in search of better conditions, and plants grow in seemingly infertile soil. These examples show us that, with persistence and determination, we can overcome obstacles and achieve our goals, even when conditions seem unfavorable. Perseverance is a fundamental quality for achieving success and personal fulfillment, and nature offers us countless examples of how this quality can be applied in our lives. In addition to the lessons of perseverance, nature teaches us the importance of living in the present moment. Animals and plants do not care about the past or the future. They simply exist in the here and now. Adopting this attitude can help us reduce stress and anxiety, allowing us to more fully enjoy every moment of our lives. The practice of mindfulness, inspired by observation of nature, can help us develop greater awareness and appreciation for the present, promoting a more balanced and satisfying life. Nature offers us lessons about the importance of renewal and starting over. Just as forests regenerate after a fire and fields bloom again after winter, we too have the ability to renew ourselves and start over, regardless of the challenges we face. This perspective encourages us to see each new day as an opportunity for growth and transformation, reminding us that there is always hope and possibility, even in the most difficult situations. Living according to nature teaches us valuable lessons about acceptance, interconnection, resilience, adaptability, simplicity, perseverance, and the importance of living in the present. By applying these principles to our lives, we can become wiser, more compassionate, and more resilient in the face of the challenges and changes we encounter along the way. Adopting this philosophy can help us find greater balance and harmony, both internally and in our interactions with the world around us. 3. Be resilient. A powerful example of resilience can be found in the universe, the phenomenon of neutron stars. These extremely dense stars form from the collapse of massive stars during supernova explosions. Despite the enormous pressures and extreme temperatures involved in this process, neutron stars are able to withstand these adverse conditions, maintaining their structure and even emitting regular pulses of radiation, becoming known as pulsars. This phenomenon teaches us that even in the face of the most challenging circumstances, we can find the inner strength to persevere and even thrive. Reflecting on this example of cosmic resilience allows us to draw valuable lessons for our own lives. Being resilient involves recognizing that, like neutron stars, we also face pressures and challenges on our journey. However, just like these stars, we are capable of resisting and adapting to adverse circumstances. Resilience is not just about enduring difficulties, but also about learning and growing from them. Just as neutron stars transform supernova energy into regular pulses of radiation, we can transform our own challenging experiences into opportunities for personal growth and development. When faced with adversity in our lives, it is important to remember the example of neutron stars and find the courage and determination to persevere. By cultivating this inner resilience, we can become wiser and stronger, ready to face the challenges that the universe may present to us. Furthermore, resilience allows us to maintain emotional stability and mental clarity, even when we face stressful or uncertain situations. This is crucial to making informed and effective decisions that will guide us through the storms of life. The journey to developing resilience begins with self-acceptance and awareness of our own limitations and strengths. Recognizing that we all face difficulties and that no one is immune to failures is the first step to building a solid foundation of resilience. With this foundation, we can begin to develop practical strategies for dealing with challenges. For example, learning to see adversity as learning opportunities rather than insurmountable obstacles can transform our perspective and enable us to face problems with more confidence and determination. Another important aspect of resilience is the ability to maintain a support network. Just as neutron stars don't exist in isolation in the cosmos, we also need meaningful connections with others to support us through difficult times. Seeking help, sharing our concerns, and receiving advice from friends, family, or professionals can make a significant difference in our ability to withstand and thrive in the face of adversity. Furthermore, helping others can also strengthen our own resilience, creating a cycle of mutual support. Practicing regular self-care, such as physical exercise, healthy eating, and meditation, also contributes to developing resilience. These habits not only strengthen our body, but also our mind, allowing us to face challenges with greater vigor and clarity. Regular self-care helps reduce stress and anxiety, creating a more positive, resilient headspace. Developing resilience is an ongoing process that requires practice and patience. It's not about completely eliminating life's difficulties, but about learning to navigate them more effectively and with a stronger spirit. Resilience teaches us that although we cannot control all circumstances, we can control how we respond to them. Just like neutron stars that shine brightly despite immense pressures, we can learn to shine in our own ways, turning challenges into stepping stones to personal growth and fulfillment. Resilience is a skill that empowers us to live our lives with more fullness and purpose. By developing this quality, we not only prepare ourselves to face life's inevitable ups and downs, but we also become better able to take advantage of the opportunities that come our way. So as you face your own storms, remember the neutron stars and find within yourself the strength to shine brightly, no matter what. 4. Practice self-control. The first essential piece of advice for achieving Stoic wisdom is fundamental. Practice self-control. The ability to govern our emotions, desires, and actions is central to Stoic philosophy and a crucial step toward living a balanced and virtuous life. The Stoics believed that true freedom does not come from indulgences or external pleasures, but from self-discipline and mastery over oneself. Self-control allows us to respond to life situations calmly and rationally, rather than being carried along by the tide of our emotions and impulses. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, taught that it is not events that disturb us, but rather our perception of them. Therefore, by controlling our mind, we control our life. Practicing self-control begins with being aware of our thoughts and reactions. When we face a stressful or tempting situation, we must pause and reflect before acting. Ask yourself, does this reaction bring me closer to or further from tranquility and balance? This simple act of reflection can transform the way we deal with daily challenges. It is important to recognize that self-control does not mean repressing our emotions, but rather understanding and directing them in a constructive way. Stoics advise cultivating virtues such as patience, courage, and wisdom to deal with adversity. Instead of succumbing to anger, fear, or frustration, we use these virtues as tools to maintain serenity and mental clarity. The practice of self-control also extends to our habits and lifestyle. Moderating our desires, whether in relation to food, the consumption of material goods, or leisure, helps us avoid excesses and maintain a healthy balance. By practicing moderation, we strengthen our mind and body, making us more resilient and prepared to face adversity. To better understand the importance of self-control in Stoic philosophy, it is helpful to consider the metaphor of the boat in the storm. Imagine yourself as a captain of a ship, sailing through turbulent waters. Self-control is like the rudder of your boat. Without it, you would be tossed from side to side at the mercy of the waves and winds. With it, you can stay your course even in the storm, steering steadily toward your destination. Epictetus often mentioned that the key to happiness and peace of mind lies in distinguishing what is in our control from what is not. He taught that we should focus our energies on what we can control, our own actions and attitudes, and accept with serenity what we cannot change. This principle is the basis of Stoic self-control. By focusing on what we can directly influence, we avoid the frustration and anxiety that come with trying to control the uncontrollable. In addition to Epictetus, another great Stoic thinker, Seneca, emphasized the importance of keeping the mind clear and focused. He argued that reason and logic should guide our actions, not irrational impulses. Seneca compared the human mind to a garden that must be carefully cultivated. Self-control, in this sense, is the ability to pull out the weeds of negative emotions and nurture the plants of virtues. In turn, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, practiced self-control daily in his meditations. He reflected on the impermanence of life and the importance of accepting each moment as it is. In his meditations, Marco Aurelio recalled the need to maintain calm and composure, even in the face of daily difficulties and pressures. His writings are a living testament to how self-control can be cultivated through constant self-reflection and daily practice. Self-control is an essential pillar of Stoic wisdom. It enables us to live according to our highest values and to face life with an attitude of calm and determination. By incorporating self-control into our daily lives, we take a significant step towards true wisdom and inner peace. This practice not only helps us overcome personal challenges, but also positively influences those around us, creating an environment of harmony and mutual respect. By embracing self-control, we align ourselves with the Stoic principles of living in harmony with nature, acting with virtue, and seeking inner peace. At every moment of our lives, we have the opportunity to practice self-control and thus move closer to Stoic wisdom and a full, balanced existence. 5. Love of fate, the art of loving destiny. Love of fate, a Latin expression meaning love of fate, is one of the central principles of Stoicism. This concept invites us to embrace everything that happens in our lives, whether positive or negative events, as opportunities for growth and learning. Instead of resisting or lamenting the inevitable events, we are encouraged to cultivate a deep acceptance and appreciation for the entirety of the human experience. Adopting the love of fate means recognizing that we have no control over many aspects of our lives, including external circumstances, unexpected events, and even some of our own characteristics and tendencies. Rather than fighting against these realities, we learn to accept them and find meaning in them. This acceptance is not a sign of passivity or resignation, but rather an openness to possibilities and a willingness to act with courage and determination, regardless of the circumstances. Practicing the love of fate helps us develop a mindset of growth and resilience. The challenges we face, instead of being seen as insurmountable obstacles, are regarded as opportunities to strengthen our character, develop our resilience, and cultivate wisdom. Every experience, no matter how difficult, can teach us something valuable about ourselves and the world around us. The Stoics believed that resistance to the inevitable causes unnecessary suffering. By fully accepting the highs and lows of life, we can experience deeper and more lasting inner peace. This acceptance frees us from the burden of suffering caused by resistance and allows us to live more fully and satisfactorily. In essence, by practicing the love of fate, we learn to accept life as it is, with all its imperfections and uncertainties. One of the great lessons of the love of fate is the ability to find gratitude and contentment in the present moment. Instead of constantly wishing for more or different, by embracing what we already have, we can find true satisfaction and joy in life. This mindset encourages us to appreciate the little things and value every moment, realizing that everything that happens has a purpose and can contribute to our personal growth. The love of fate teaches us to value the difficulties and challenges we face. Instead of seeing them as punishments or misfortunes, we can view them as essential parts of our journey. By facing adversity with a positive and open attitude, we can transform obstacles into opportunities for learning and development. This approach not only strengthens our emotional resilience, but also helps us develop a more balanced and realistic view of life. The benefits of the love of fate go beyond personal development. This philosophy can also improve our relationships and interactions with others. By accepting and loving fate, we are more likely to practice empathy and understanding, recognizing that everyone faces their own battles and challenges. This allows us to be more compassionate and supportive, cultivating deeper and more meaningful connections with those around us. Adopting the love of fate is therefore a powerful practice that invites us to fully embrace the entirety of the human experience. By finding meaning and purpose in all facets of life, we can become wiser, more resilient and serene. Living with gratitude and acceptance, we are able to face any challenge with courage and determination, making the most of every moment. The love of fate is a philosophy that promotes the unconditional acceptance of fate and the appreciation of every aspect of life. This mindset not only helps us deal with adversities more effectively, but also allows us to live more fully and gratifyingly. By incorporating the love of fate into our lives, we can achieve lasting inner peace and a deeper sense of purpose and satisfaction. 6. Train Stoic indifference. Training indifference in Stoic philosophy does not mean being insensitive to emotions or events, but rather developing inner serenity in the face of external circumstances. Being wiser with this advice implies understanding that many events are beyond our control, and that our inner peace should not depend on external factors. A crucial aspect of this training is learning to accept what we cannot change. For example, if we face an adverse situation that we cannot change, such as a traffic jam that makes us late for a meeting, we can train indifference by accepting the situation calmly and looking for alternative solutions. Instead of becoming irritated and stressed about something that is not possible, we can control. Calmly accepting unexpected events allows us to focus on what really matters, our reaction, and the way we choose to deal with the problem. This practice not only reduces stress, but also improves our ability to adapt. Training indifference helps us develop a more balanced perspective on life's ups and downs. Instead of being swept away by euphoria when things are going well or by hopelessness when we face difficulties, we can cultivate an attitude of equanimity, recognizing that circumstances are transitory and staying focused on our deepest values and goals. This approach gives us the mental clarity necessary to make more sensible decisions in line with our principles, regardless of external circumstances. Another aspect of this training is learning to control our emotional reactions. When we are provoked by external events or the actions of others, we can train indifference by practicing self-discipline and self-restraint, rather than reacting impulsively with anger, resentment, or hurt. For example, if someone treats us disrespectfully, instead of immediately reacting with outrage, we can pause and reflect on the situation, choosing a more thoughtful and constructive response. This practice helps us avoid unnecessary conflicts and maintain more harmonious relationships. Practicing Stoic indifference also enables us to develop greater emotional resilience. By learning to accept what we cannot change and maintain a balanced perspective in the face of life's vicissitudes, we become stronger to face adversity. Resilience allows us to not only endure challenges, but also grow from them, extracting valuable lessons that make us wiser and prepared for the future. Furthermore, training indifference promotes self-control. In situations of temptation or desire, Stoic practice helps us resist impulses that can divert us from our goals and values. For example, when faced with a temptation that could compromise our principles, we can use indifference to rationally evaluate the consequences of giving in to that impulse, strengthening our resolve to act in accordance with our values. This self-control is essential to maintain a life aligned with our ideals and long-term goals. Inner peace is another significant benefit of Stoic indifference training. By decoupling our happiness from external circumstances, we avoid the emotional roller coaster that often accompanies life's ups and downs. Instead of constantly seeking external validation or material success, we find contentment in living according to our principles and doing our best in every situation. This gives us a feeling of tranquility and satisfaction that cannot be shaken by external events. Training Stoic indifference is not about becoming apathetic or disinterested, but rather about cultivating an unshakable serenity that allows us to navigate life with wisdom and balance. By accepting what we cannot change, maintaining a balanced perspective, controlling our emotional reactions, developing resilience, practicing self-control and finding inner peace, we can become stronger and more serene in the face of the challenges and turbulence we encounter along the way. The constant practice of this philosophy guides us to a fuller life aligned with our deepest values, allowing us to live with greater clarity and purpose. 7. Be fair and integrity. A just man is not one who does not commit injustice, but one who, given the opportunity to act unjustly, does not do it. Marco Aurelio. This quote from Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, offers a profound reflection on the true nature of justice and integrity. Being fair is not just about avoiding the practice of injustice, but also about having the moral courage to act in accordance with ethical principles, even when faced with temptations or pressures to deviate from the path of virtue. By applying this advice to our lives, we seek to be wiser by cultivating a strong sense of integrity and justice in all our actions. This means not just blindly following external rules, but acting in accordance with our own ethical principles, even when no one is watching us. Practicing justice and integrity enables us to build strong, trusting relationships with others as our words and actions reflect our deepest values. By acting with integrity, we earn the respect and admiration of those around us, strengthening our interpersonal bonds and contributing to a more just and compassionate world. Being fair and honest is, therefore, an ongoing challenge that requires vigilance and self-awareness. It involves constantly evaluating our actions and decisions, ensuring they are aligned with our highest ethical values. It's not just about avoiding unjust actions, but also about actively promoting fairness in our daily interactions. This can mean making difficult decisions that may not be popular, but are right. Being fair and honest helps us cultivate greater self-esteem and self-respect. By living by our ethical principles, we strengthen our own personal integrity and become more confident in our abilities and decisions. This sense of personal integrity is a fundamental pillar for building a full and meaningful life. Internalizing the wisdom contained in the Stoic quote from Marcus Aurelius leads us to actively seek justice and integrity in all areas of our lives. This practice not only strengthens our relationships and our self-esteem, but also significantly contributes to creating a more ethical and compassionate world. Every act of justice and integrity, no matter how small, has the potential to positively influence those around us and foster a culture of respect and honesty. In a world often marked by injustice and dishonesty, a commitment to justice and integrity is a beacon of hope and positive change. We must strive to be living examples of these values, inspiring others to follow the same path. This journey can be full of challenges, but it is also full of rewards, as it allows us to live authentically and with a clear purpose. Integrity, in particular, is a quality that transcends mere conformity to external norms. It is a reflection of our true essence. When we have integrity, our actions are consistent with our values and principles, regardless of the circumstances. This creates a sense of internal harmony, and allows us to face challenges with a clear conscience. In addition to strengthening our own morality, practicing justice and integrity has a profound impact on society. When individuals act with fairness and integrity, they establish high standards of behavior that can positively influence their communities and organizations. This multiplier effect can lead to a fairer and more equitable society, where trust and honesty are valued and cultivated. By incorporating Marcus Aurelius's teachings on justice and integrity, we are committing not only to our own personal development, but also to collective well-being. This dedication to virtue is an ongoing journey that requires reflection, courage, and perseverance. However, the benefits are invaluable, as they bring us closer to a life lived in harmony with our deepest values and help us contribute to a better world for all. Being fair and principled is a noble aspiration that requires continued effort and a strong moral compass. By striving to live by these principles, we not only improve our own lives, but we also play a vital role in promoting justice and integrity in the world around us. 8. Daily meditation. The path to wisdom, according to the Stoics, passes through the daily practice of meditation. For them, meditating was not just a mental exercise, but an essential tool for cultivating virtues, such as wisdom and serenity. This practice not only shaped their minds, but also prepared them to face everyday challenges with rational calm. When waking up in the morning, the Stoics set aside time for meditation. They sat in silence, focused on their breathing, and reflected on the obstacles that might arise throughout the day. They mentally visualized situations that could be difficult and calmly imagined their responses. This mental preparation was essential to deal with adversity in a balanced and calm way. Daily meditation on Stoicism was not limited to just the morning. During the day, they found brief moments to withdraw, reflecting on their actions and thoughts. They questioned whether they were acting in accordance with Stoic virtues, such as courage, justice, and temperance. This constant self-evaluation helped them stay focused on their goals and cultivate wisdom in their everyday lives. For the Stoics, achieving wisdom was not an end goal, but rather an ongoing process of self-transformation. Daily meditation was a powerful tool in this process, allowing them to know themselves better and become more aware of their limitations and strengths. By recognizing their weaknesses, they could work to overcome them. By valuing their virtues, they could strengthen them even further. Through the constant practice of meditation, the Stoics found a path to living a full, meaningful life rooted in wisdom. They understood that true wisdom was not limited to intellectual knowledge, but rather to the ability to live according to the principles they considered highest. Thus, by cultivating serenity, acceptance, and virtue in their daily lives, they became true sages in the deepest sense of the word. Daily meditation, therefore, was not just a morning ritual, but rather an ongoing practice of reflection and self-improvement. It was through these moments of introspection that the Stoics strengthened their character and deepened their understanding of what it meant to live a good and virtuous life. Each meditation session not only prepared them for immediate challenges, but also helped them cultivate a state of mind that was resilient and capable of facing life's vicissitudes with equanimity. Thus, daily meditation for the Stoics was not just a habit, but rather a cornerstone of their practical philosophy. It was a means by which they sought not only to understand their own minds and emotions, but also to strengthen their commitment to the ethical ideals they considered fundamental. Ultimately, practicing daily meditation helped them not only live according to their values, but also internalize and manifest those values in the world around them. As we conclude this video of the 8 principles for achieving Stoic wisdom, we hope you have found inspiration and clarity to apply these teachings in your daily life. Stoic philosophy guides us to live with tranquility, resilience, and balance. If this content was useful to you, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. And if you've made it this far, comment, "I've made it to the end." Let's walk the path of Stoic wisdom together.